morning, everyone, and welcome to the CBC. This morning and every Sunday morning at 11:30, Khenpo teaches and does meditation. Also a chance for Q&A later as well. And then we'll be finishing with a short practice of Chenrezig practice where we'll accumulate some mantra together. And then there'll be some time afterwards for refreshments and light refreshments out in the library area. So with that,
oh yeah.
Thank you.
Sanje je do zo ji chon na na shon je bo da da ni je zo ji da gi jin su ji so na ji ro la pen ji Sanje je do zo ji chon na na shon je bo da ni je zo ji da gi jin su ji be zo na ji ro la pen ji son ji ro ba jo sanje je do zo ji chon na na shon je bo da ni da gi jin su ji be zo na ji ro la pen ji son ji ro ba jo sen je tam je de wa de be ju dan de ma ju ji do nga ji ju dan ro wa ji ji do nga me be de wa da ma da me ra wa ji Nirin jadan nidan trawe donyam jembola neba chuji senje tamji dewa da divi judan demba chuji donghan da donghan ji judan trawa chuji donghan mebin dewa damba damen trawa chuji Nirin jadan nidan trawe donyam jembola neba chuji senje tamji dewa da divi judan demba chuji donghan da donghan ji judan trawa chuji Donghan mebe dewa damba damen trawa chuji nirin jadan nidan trawe donyam jembola neba chuji kangi tenjin trawa nyingaba meba jemeba cheba meba Owa meba dromeba tade deme denjeba drupani yishendeba zobe sanje mana ji tangba tela shansa lo ngaji zuji penchen bama la layan sipa zon tsude Nimbu denba bela dadrawa bema no besha la sowa nes Oh yeah, good morning. And also, welcome to Sunday meditation class. So last time, I think we talked, last Sunday, we talked about briefly the two different of meditation, which is one is analyze, one is stabilizing. Is it? I think so. But any of doing meditations before it's important for the beginner. I mean, those who are good in practicing or realized, then those person, I think, not really necessary to find a place like, quiet and far from cities, kind of like that, So for the beginner, it's really important to find a place like in KPC or like any other, place which is far from city, far from noisy, because it helps your your mind, not distract, other things. So reason of that, when we talk about meditation, so before that, find a place, the quiet and nice and clean. So it's important, If you are really, really good practitioner and realized kind of, emptiness or other things, then you don't need necessary to find a place. Okay, wherever you live, wherever you go, you can, do meditation. I mean, is it? Yeah, because you already, controlled, already tame your mind. I mean, okay. So reason of that. So before that, find a place like KPC, and then of course 7 posture of Vajrayana, That is also very important. And then I think any kind of meditation or any kind of practices, it's really important to, how to say, the main purpose of any kind of Dharma is to train your mind, actually, okay? Whether it's a full foundation mindfulness or to kind of meditations or six, perfection, prajaparamita, or sometimes we call like that. So it's important. So currently we are, talking about meditate on patience, okay? So any kind of Dharma, which is actually main purpose is tame over own mind, So it's really important. So all of must serve to train the mind or act as an antidote to affliction emotions, okay? So Dharma, which means, antidote to affliction emotions, antidote to negative thoughts or negative actions. Is it? Of course, the meditation is not about only, sitting and quiet like that, Of course, it's important when we're doing meditation and sit in the properly and, focus on whatever you wish. That is also important, but more important is what we are doing in meditation is, a kind of antidote to negative thoughts, affliction emotions. This is the main purpose of all kind of Dharma. So it's really important, So if one meditate well, bearing those reasons in mind, then it can be very beneficial. Yeah. So it's one of the main reason we are doing meditations. So therefore, when the world is conflict and also society is chaos, and we encounter virtues large and small and difficulties in our personal lives, so we try to meditate to bring inner peace. Well, meditating, the most important thing is to prevent our mind from falling to afflictions, to fall power of under the affliction emotions, So that means when we meditating, sitting straight and close your eyes, that is actually not a genuine meditation, We never know someone sitting like, straight, like, body and closed eyes, not, shaking your body. So people see, then maybe they think, he or she is doing a meditation, but we never know what he or she is in their mind, what is thinking, So sometimes we ordinary people sitting like, and relax and then think about the what throughout in the past, someone who did any wrong to you, then we think about that, or this person did that, and then maybe, in the future, if I have, some chance to retaliate, something like that. You know, we are thinking, sometimes we, you know, think like that way, you know, but that is not meditation, you know. But when someone saw you sitting like that, you know, not shaking and closing your eyes, but people will think, you know, oh, he or she is doing, you know, good meditation. But it's not really meditation, you know. You are thinking, I mean, ritualite, something, you know. Yeah, for example, you know, like that. And then it's really not genuine, you know, meditation, you know. So meditations, before we are doing meditation, then it's very important to, I mean, generate a bodhicitta, you know, a mind kind of encourage or motivations, kind of like that. I think positive thoughts, you know, thinking about other living beings, you know, to have, you know, happiness and free from suffering. Kind of like that mind, we need to really engage. Without that mind, then all the practices, what we are doing, not really, you know, strong, you know. So with that kind of mind, then any kind of practice, even we, how to say, think about, you know, emptiness or impermanence or any other, you know, related with the Dharma, you know, it's also, you know, very benefit. So it's a mind kind of bodhicitta. It's all very important. Then, of course, whatever we are doing, you know, meditation or what we are, you know, focusing on emptiness or any other things, which is, you know, really transform, or maybe we can say that, so, apply kind of, you know, antidote to affliction emotions. That is the, I mean, main thing, you know. So this is the, I mean, reason. So yeah, so don't fall, I mean, over thoughts and mind power of under power of affliction emotions. Okay, so that is the, I mean, very important. If one focus on a person, oh sorry, this is, I already gave, you know, example. So that kind of, you know, meditation is really not antidote, actually, you know, antidote to affliction emotions, you know. So any practice, any meditation should be, you know, a kind of antidote, whether it's ignorance or jealous or hatred, whatever we call those affliction emotions, you know. So it's important, okay. um uh of of course, you know, for like us ordinary people, it's difficult sometimes thinking about all living beings, you know, whatever we are doing, I mean, Dharma benefit for all living beings. Sometimes it's difficult to thinking in that way, you know, because some people are good to you or some people are really not good to you. So we can't think those who are really not good to you, you know. But we can start from who is closest to you, you know. So then step by step, we can, that thinking expand to all the living beings, you know. So it's important, even if we cannot extend our thoughts to all sentient beings. Our meditation should focus on a, you know, specific, you know, sentient being, like those who are really close to you, with the aim that they be endowed with happiness and free from suffering. Ideally, we should be able to focus our thoughts all on all sentient beings. In this way, this is not an option actually, yeah, but our responsibility to accomplish, you know, because okay, in general, a sentient being, and specifically as human being, furthermore as practitioner of Buddhist, you know, Buddhist or practicing Buddha Dharma, we bear that responsibility. Sometimes we may forget one's daily responsibilities. However, it's extremely, you know, beneficial to recognize that this is due to affliction within oneself, reflect deeply, and engage in meditation, you know. So it says, so if one wonders that fault there is in letting the mind fall under the power of affliction emotions, that is the greatest fault that exists. The reason is that afflictions absolutely never bring happiness, you know, affliction emotions, you know. We ourselves desire happiness. Therefore, if we seek who provides happiness, it is the secret Dharma that tames the afflictions. It is very important for us to prevent our mind from falling under the affliction emotions at all time and in all circumstances. This is not actually an easy task or easy practice, but we can do, you know. Therefore, we need courage and mental strength. For this, we must, you know, continually engage in the three practices of kind of a hearing and contemplation, and then meditation. So these three are the main, the path develop over mind or develop over, you know, bodhicitta, I mean. So without, you know, hearing and contemplation and meditation, then we can't actually improve ourselves, you know. So this is the reason. So we need to, practice and learn about, you know, Dharma. What is the real purpose of Dharma, and then what is the real meaning of, you know, Dharma. So after we contemplate or investigate through the, you know, right view, then you can understand something. That understand something, we have to, you know, bring it in one's mind or bring it with the habit, make it, habit in your daily life, you know. So then I think that kind of practice is really, really, you know, beneficial and really can develop your bodhicitta or your wisdom, you know. So it's a Tatu Devas, what needs to be said about the, you know, ultimate happiness, long-lasting happiness, even, you know, to attain, you know, temporary, you know, happiness. It relies on a mind free from, you know, defilements. For example, like, you know, for two couples or family or two friends, you know. So two people to get along and be harmonious. If they have love and trust for each other, then they will be happy and, you know, comfortable each other, you know. If in between, you know, two people, there's no love, no trust each other, then always, you know, hatred, then always jealous between each other, then those two people never, you know, Karze, stay in happy or happiness. Is it? We can see within, one family, So if that family have, that kind of love and trust each other, then we can say, happy family. So if you have, that kind of, the negative thought, don't believe each other and jealous each other, then yeah, it's really difficult, to say, happy family. Yeah. So then says they will be happy and comfortable each other if there is, suspicions like, arrogance or jealousies in between them, then those people will never, experience happiness and harmony. This is something we can, know through our own experience, So then if all sentient beings desire happiness, then it's, certainly true that happiness must be generated by a mind free from, affliction, emotions. This is not only the actually, responsibility for the only, those who are, religious. I mean, it doesn't matter you are believing in religious or non-religions. Each and every individual, people has that kind of responsibility. So it's not only the responsibility those who are, believing in religions, but of every individual, believe has a responsibility to live happily and healthy. Is it? Not only the human beings, all the living beings. It's the same way Karze want happiness, don't want, suffering. In that sense, so all living beings is, same. So all equally, I mean, so that's the way we have to treat all the living beings in equally, That's why I say the equanimity is so important, So it's So it's we bear a significant, responsibility, because when we, like, of course, whether you believe in a religion or not believe in a religion, whether you're Buddhism or not Buddhism, especially, those who, how to say, commit or think themselves as a Buddhism, then you have actually more responsibility to bring happiness to the society. Because when we took the refuge, is it? Yeah. Refuge vows. So we made a commitment, when we're taking the refuge. So from today onward, I will take refuge in the three jewels for the sake of liberating all sentient beings, from the suffering of samsara. We already took that vow, So then we can't actually, neglect even one person, We need to, think about all the living beings, whether some are good to you or some are not good to you. It doesn't matter actually. If you think, oh, this person's I will not, include in my practice, then you will, breaking your samaya actually. You're breaking your vows actually. Is it? Yeah. So this is, so important, to knowing. I mean, I already, took a refuge. In that refuge, I made some commitment, So this is, it's important. So therefore, upholding this vow is our responsibility. So it is crucial at all time and in all situations to ensure that our three doors, mean body, mind, speech, do not fall under the power of affliction emotions. If you're discriminating in the um, in the society or the living being, so then you are breaking your samayas or breaking your vows, actually, is it? So because um, you are discriminating through by affliction emotions. Those who are close to you, you giving love them. If you are those who are not really good to you or not close to you, you are neglect through by sometimes hatred, sometimes jealousies, sometimes ignorance, so then you are not really practicing equanimity. So in Buddhism, equanimity is so important, so which means you are thinking not by yourself, you are thinking all living beings in the same way, all living beings want happiness, no, don't want suffering. In that sense, yeah, so you can practice equanimity. If you make something discriminating, then you are not really doing practices of Karze, equanimity, or practices of Karze, refuge. Okay, so even then, of course, then uh, uh, we talk about then bodhicitta. Then of course you have more responsibility to bring happiness to the society. So that's just the reason. Yeah. So it's always important to check uh, by yourself. Your mind is under the affliction emotions or not. We need to really check again, again. So the best way for this mind to achieve peace and happiness, as the state in Buddhist text, is to discipline the mind. To discipline the mind means to be able to keep it undisturbed through by negative emotions, affliction emotions, whatever we call, or negative thoughts, So keeping it undisturbed. As previously we mentioned, it means ensure the mind does not fall under the affliction emotions, So that's the reason, Buddha, as an antidote to subdue the affliction of desire, then Buddha taught 21,000 section of Vinaya. Is it? Then, as an antidote to subdue the affliction of hatred, he taught 21,000 section of Sutra. As an antidote to subdue the affliction of delusion or ignorance, he taught 21,000 section of Abhidharma. These three we call three Karze, Patika or Pratika or what? Yeah, Pitaka, baskets or Pitaka, something like that, Then as an antidote to equally subdue the three poisons, then he taught 21,000 session of mantra or Vajrayana, we can say that, okay? So then comes, 84,000 Buddha taught. So all the 84,000, each and every, he taught is an antidote actually. Some related with ignorance, some related with hatred. So Dharma means antidote. So that is the reason when we, apply something, or when we doing practice Dharma or meditating something, it should be, apply an antidote. Yeah. So then said actually in a text, many texts are saying since the conceptual thought, which is not only the thought actually, okay, thoughts which are coming through by affliction emotions, okay, thoughts uh, through coming through by uh, ignorance or jealousies, kind of like that, there's, endless actually. So then antidote also endless, but they said 84,000 Buddha taught, which is briefly, they counted. Otherwise, the over because conceptual thought is endless, and then also Dharma is also countless. So they said, yeah, like that way, So since the conceptual thoughts of sentient beings are endless, it is said that the antidotes, the Dharma teaching are also, endless. So it's generally known that the Buddha taught 84,000 sections of Dharma. It's actually briefly they counted. Therefore, all those teachings were given specifically as antidote to the affliction emotions. In summary, all those teachings were given for no other purpose than to tame this very mind, actually, The Buddha himself actually taught about this, He said in sutra, yeah, most of the, those who following Buddhists, I think they are related with this teaching. Commit no non-virtuous actions, engage to perfect virtue, completely tame your own mind. This is the teaching of Buddha. So, yeah, whatever Buddha taught, or whatever those, masters and teachers are taught, the only one purpose, which is, tame this mind, actually. Tame this mind, which means this mind not falling under the affliction emotions, actually. Okay? This mind not falling under the affliction emotions, which is you already tame your mind. If we can do that, So it's really important to, understand, in this way, then, yeah. So therefore, we must for our current meditation practice to, primarily serve as an antidote for tame the mind. Okay? Of course, like us, like, ordinary people like us or like me, sometimes it's difficult, to control this mind, because our minds always, running everywhere. I mean, is it not just a running? Running through by affliction emotions. Sometimes cause not satisfaction. Sometimes a big ego. Sometimes big desire. You know if it's a not through by affliction emotions, mind is running here and then, that is okay, no problem. Yeah, but running through by affliction emotions, then it's not okay actually. Of course, ordinary people always like, I mean 90% or 99%. It's like that way, running here and there through by affliction emotions, Ordinary people. I'm talking like, ordinary people. Yeah. So then, so that kind of, mind, we need to really, Kasa, need to tame, not falling in under the affliction emotions through by hearing, through by contemplation, through by meditation. Okay? So once we know the what is those affliction emotions and what they, unbenefit or what? Yeah, not beneficial. Then, yeah, we can, kasawarta, try a little bit, okay, uh, tame this mind, I mean, okay. So taming the mind is quite difficult, yet it is actually not, impossible. Of course, at the end of this world or end of ourselves, then uh, Kasa, then the Buddha Maitreya, he mentioned it actually. Yeah, every sentient beings one day will achieve Buddhahood. Yeah, because we have already Buddha seed. Buddha seed. Yeah, right now we have actually Buddha seed, but we need to put some water, some other things like when any other seeds we put in the ground. That is not enough to bring up the fruits, but we need to, look at the conditions, the season, and then put water, kind of, all the conditions need, Once all the conditions, together, then the fruits will grow, Similar like that, we have already in a Buddha seed, so but we need to, because I need a polish. Yeah, so it is not impossible. The reason of this, the first, like us, for ordinary people, like, that's really difficult, is that throughout countless of lifetimes, we have become a deeply, kasa, used to or habitude, habit, yeah, to those affliction emotions, So not only this life, so many lifetimes, we have that kind of habit, And due to those strong imprint, the pacha, in Tibetan we call pacha, imprint. So timing the mind right now is, difficult. It's kind of, tough, challenge. However, it's certainly not impossible to tame the mind because it's inherent. Nature is not intrinsically because our mind itself, nature is clear, yeah, but it's a cover up those affliction emotions, like sun goes into the cloud, like that. Once we clear the clouds, then we can see clearly sun in the sky, like that. Over in Buddha nature is itself actually clear. It's full of good qualities. Actually, whatever Buddha has qualities, all those in within in our mind actually right now, but we cannot see clearly because of the affliction emotions. We have to get used to it, so many lifetimes. Due to that, we cannot see clearly our Buddha nature. Okay, so we need to clean all those kasa affliction emotions through by practicing Dharma. Okay, so it's said like that. So it's not of course difficult for like us individual, like ordinary people, but it's not impossible. It's possible. Yeah. So to tame it, among the many methods, the best is first to hear, then to reflect, then to meditate. Meditate, which means actually, get used to it, whatever we understood, through by hearing, through by investigate. Okay, so then get used to it again, think about that again. Okay, so this is kind of called integrating the teaching into one's mind and then practice them repeatedly. Therefore, meditation is very important. If one wish to integrate the teaching into one's mind, then we must practice meditation. We must exert ourselves with even greater enthusiasm and strive for progress. Once we can do that again, then we can one day, okay, we can see clearly Buddha nature. Because through meditation, the only way we can clean those negative thoughts or affliction emotions. So that's why I say no one can achieve Buddhahood without meditating. Because meditation is the only way to achieve Buddhahood. Because through the meditation, we have to clean those affliction emotions, Without clean affliction emotions, then we never achieve Buddhahood, So this is the reason the meditation is very important, to achieve temporary happiness or long-lasting happiness, both actually. Temporary kind of, if we always engage with a society or with a company, with a gathering, together, many people, then I think our minds always distract, to something. So once we engage with a meditation place like this, at least, during the meditation, you can have some, enjoy your, happiness at that during the meditation, Yeah. So you'll calm, your mind will calm down and peaceful, not distracting other things. So it's important. So for that to happen, it's crucial to first understand what affliction emotions are and what their functions are actually. So this is also important, okay? Affliction emotions, like also, countless, like like I said before, our conceptual thought is countless. Conceptual thought came from negative thought or affliction emotions, Namto, Tibetan call Namto. Okay? So then, of course, briefly, they said main affliction emotion, the 6 roots of affliction emotions, okay? Or sometimes we go 3 roots of affliction emotions, or sometimes we call 10. But all are same, okay? Just, divided, from that. But main is 6 affliction emotion, which is, ignorance, and then desire. Sometimes in desire translated into English like craving, okay? Or shedang, which is hatred. And ngaja is pride or ego kind of, okay? Then tensam is doubt, always kasa two-minded, not really clear, doubt. And then wrong view. Okay, those are the 6 main roots. All the, affliction emotions, So then say 84, you can say 84,000 affliction emotions actually. All those affliction emotions came from this 6 roots, affliction emotions. Okay? So those are the actually affliction emotions. Then what is the, function of those affliction emotions? Or what is the kasota? We can say that because meaning of, okay, meaning of affliction emotions, like in the Tibetan we call nyemongpa, okay. So senju rat majiwa shebas, that what is mean by nyemongpa or affliction emotion, okay. Then it's said in the sutra, that which makes the mind strain intensely unpeaceful. That is the actual meaning of affliction emotions. Someone who has affliction emotions, like those 6 roots or 84, then that person's never, in peaceful. Always, Karze, conflict. Yeah, unpleasant. We can say that. Unpeaceful. Is it? Yeah. Senju Radma Shiva Shebas. Okay, so is that as long as those afflictions are present in one's mind stream, it's difficult to find happiness and peace of mind. So that is the actually meaning of affliction emotions, okay? So that's a reason, meditation or any kind of a practice, use it as antidote of affliction, antidote to affliction emotions, okay? So Dharma also means of antidote. Is it? Any kind of Dharma, okay? So it is, yeah, to understand the affliction emotions. What is the meaning of affliction emotions? What is the function of affliction emotions? Then we will try to, remove those, affliction emotions without knowing what is the, function of affliction emotions. What is unbeneficial affliction emotions, then we never try to remove, So once we understood, then we can try to remove all those, negative emotions, negative thoughts. Okay? So therefore, as human being, we possess the capacity, that distinguishes us from other beings, actually. Our human's intelligence or human's brain is more powerful than other living beings, Of course, some part, the other living beings are more intelligent than human, actually. Is it? Because our human being, we never know the natural disaster. But some animals, they can feel before the coming natural disaster, so they can feel it. So in that sense, those animals more intelligent than human. But but in briefly, in percentage, so human brain is actually more capacity or more powerful than the other living being. Okay, so really we need, use that capacity to bring some humanity or happiness or whatever we call, to the society. Okay, don't use human capacity to bring conflicts. So suffering, kind of, so it's a, it's important, okay, to use that capacity in a good way. Then it's more beneficial, So otherwise, like, so many, of course, it's good to say those sentences. Some sentence they they made, or what? They made kind of item bomb, I don't know what they have purpose of making the item bomb, but once if that item bomb uh, catch or what? We can say maybe handle to a wrong person, then it's so dangerous, Of course, those sentence who made those, vaccine, the medicines, so really, really, a benefit to many lives, So in that case, is good. There's a, always, where there is a, good, then there is also, bad, actually, always, like this balance. But we have to, our capacity used to more beneficial to other living beings. Okay, so this capacity should actually used to in that way, So me, the ways, if human beings, utilize that, potential, it could greatly, beneficial many sentient beings. Therefore, as human being, and as a practitioner of, Dharma, or we can say as religions, then we bear a very, significant responsibility. So, yeah, I hope we are, continues to do meditation or learning something, to benefit all the living beings, benefit not by yourself. So through that, hearing, complete, reflect, or meditating. Okay. So, but in all time and, circumstances, whatever work you undertake, strive to do it with that kind of, mindset. So if we can do that, our human existence will truly be, benefit. That's a meaningful, if we can do mindset kind of like that, positive mindset, thinking about all the living beings and thinking about all the living beings as, equally, want happiness or don't want suffering, then I think whatever we do, those can bring up lots of, benefit for all the living beings, Then also, our life is also, meaningful, is it? Yeah. Meaningful life means, actually, the Shanti Deva said, if you are doing all through by body, mind, speech for others, that is actually meaningful life. Yeah, beneficial for others, okay. Yeah, thinking, about, other living beings, not thinking by yourself. Okay, so that is the acting. Then he also mentioned it, to achieve Buddhahood only came from, thinking others. To achieve Buddhahood is not, coming from thinking by yourself, actually. Yeah, that is called actually Shonchuchisen bodhicitta, Bodhicitta is actually main causes of achieve Buddhahood, actually. Only the causes is the bodhicitta, actually. So bodhicitta, which means thinking about others. Is it? Yeah, concerning about others. So bodhicitta is very important. So that's why, whatever we are doing before we engage or generate bodhicitta mind, So through that, then whatever we do, or concerning or concerned, benefit for others, So that is the reason the Tsemeshi, whatever we are practicing, then we are, generate bodhicitta with three kasor, with four immeasurable, So reason of that, So it's important to knowing those affliction emotions. Then when we're doing the meditation, we can recognize our mind is under the affliction emotions, or under the, we can say, positive mind. Clearly we can recognize. Yeah. Okay. Normally we don't think that much, Where is our mind is, roaming. Yeah, normally we don't think that much, actually. But when we sit and calmly focus on your own mind, then you will find, actually recognize, where is our mind, or where our mind is, roaming every day, So it's to recognize that kind of, is really important, Then you can control your mind, actually. Once you recognize your mind, then you can control your mind. Or sometimes tame your mind. Without the recognized mind, you cannot actually tame or control. Control your mind, which means actually recognize or realize your mind is under the, power of affliction emotions. Yeah, our mind is always, under the, power of affliction emotions. Like, ordinary people, always, of course, sometimes, maybe, the 1 second or 2 second or 5 seconds, run away from that power. But mostly, it's Karze. You're trapped in Karze, into affliction emotion. To recognize that is also, very, very important. Yeah. Then you can do something with that, You can try to Karze, run away from that. Otherwise, we never think, run away. If you are not, in a bad situation, then we don't, need to run away from that situation, Once we recognize, oh, I'm in a, very bad situation, then we try to find a way, run away from that situation. Similar like that. Our mind, if our mind is under the, Karze, power of affliction emotions, to recognize that, then we try to, Karze, run away from that. Then it's only the path is practicing Dharma. Yeah, okay? Yeah, I think, like that way, then we can, try to practice, okay, every day. So then said, of course, we are just ordinary people. Yeah, we make mistakes, okay, of course. But from that mistake, we can learn, more than that, Is it? Yeah. Mistake is not, bad, actually. Sometimes it's good. So that's why I said mistake is a kind of a teacher. Yeah. It can teach you a lot of, things, actually. Okay? So Karze, make mistake. But don't get used to it. Okay? Make mistake and then trying to Karze, something learn from that mistake, Then it's good. If, yeah, if don't try to learn from the mistake, then it will, not good, Yeah. Okay. So hopefully, yeah, you can do, when you reach at home, then you can sit probably kind of meditation posture, then think about your own mind actually. Okay, just think only your mind, where mind is going good way or bad way. If it's going bad way, then try to bring into the good way. Okay? Okay. Yeah, if you have any questions. Machine be Chinese.
I'm not sure I quite understand this in a lot of ways. My specific question is that when you have the afflictive emotions, it's important to have the clear mind, which will then allow you to, which will allow you to let go of that afflictive emotion. And I'm not sure I have that quite right. So if you could straighten me out, that would be great. But I'm also looking for the heart with the mind. And that those seem to me to be necessary for the afflictive emotion to be antidoted. I don't know if I made any sense at all.
Yeah, I also understand.
I didn't make sense to you either. John Paul. Okay, what I wanted to say is heart mind.
Mind. Of course.
You're talking about clarity of mind. And that was necessary if you didn't have the clarity of mind to allow the afflictive emotion to be antidoted or to be, to be allowed to disappear, to allow it to not be affecting you.
Oh, okay. Of course, affliction emotions, of course, affected to us, But then it is said, affliction emotions is like dirt on the clothes. Like, if you want wash with the soap and water, it can clean, that those dirt is not, real, because it's really difficult to explain. So similar like that, okay? So our, affliction emotions also cover up, just like dirt, cover up your clothes. Like like sometimes we can say the white clothes, if you put some dirt on that, but we can't see the white. It looks like dark, But once we, clear all the dirt, then the cloth itself, appears like, white. Kind of like that. Our mind is, full of, good qualities. Itself never affected by affliction emotions itself, okay? But it can affect to see clearly the mind, which is the Buddha nature, you know. So to recognize what is the affliction emotion, what is the function of affliction emotions, then you can find some way, you know, clean all the affliction emotions. After you can find a way, then clean all the affliction emotions, then mind itself appears like clearly, like that, okay? Yeah, so affliction emotions, of course, sometimes it's a like a Karze, driver. Yeah.
What you're saying is that the afflictive emotion comes, and then when you develop the clarity of mind around the afflictive emotion, you can cleanse the Buddha seed, or you can remove some of the dirt that you were talking about. And I guess my question is, it seems to me that the clarity of mind needs to have heart with it. Otherwise, it's just a thought. It doesn't have the whole thing. And so that's the question I have. Where does the heart come into that clarity of mind? Make any sense?
Yeah. But it's sometimes, it's a really, explain is too difficult, you know. Sometimes, because it's a different, or very special topic, you know. Clear Karze Buddha nature, and then affliction emotions, you know, it's sometimes complicated, but yeah, we can discuss on later, okay? Yeah. Yeah, if no questions, then born in the polar heart of lotus, endowed with the most marvelous spiritual attainment, you are venered as the lotus born, surrounded by routine of many darkness, following in your footsteps. I pray to you, please come forth and grant your blessing. Guru Pema Siddhi Hum, Om Ah Hum, Benzang Guru Pema Siddhi Hum. Your thousand arms and thousand universe monarchs, your thousand eyes, the thousand Buddhas of this fortunate age, you who teach each and every one of us according to our needs, Lord Avadoti Deshwaraya, to you I pay homage. Mani Beme Hum Shi, Mani Beme Hum, 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 Mani Beme Mani peme hore, 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 mani peme hore. Mani peme hore, mani peme hore, mani peme hore, mani peme hore, mani peme hore. Mani peme hore, 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 mani peme hore. Mani peme hore, mani peme hore, mani peme hore. Mani peme hore, mani. Mani peme hore, mani peme hore, mani peme hore, mani peme hore. Mani peme hore, mani peme hore, mani peme hore. Mani peme hore, mani peme hore, mani peme hore, mani peme hore. Mani peme hore. Which may swiftly accomplish and may all sentient beings without exception be placed in that way state. By this therefore, may all sentient beings be free of suffering. May the mind be filled with nature virtue. In this way, may all causes resulting in suffering, and only the light of compassion shining throughout all realms.
Thank you all so much for coming today. It is traditional to make an offering after receiving a Dharma teaching. We have offering baskets at the door, so you can do that there. And we invite you to explore KPC. We have so many beautiful walking trails and stupas. We have a koi pond. You can bring your lunch there. We have wonderful animals to go see right off the bat. I'm sure you saw some of the ghosts up in their new structure. And again, just inviting you to stick around afterwards for some light refreshments. And again, thank you all for being here.